LeBron James said, I don't think it's no fixing the NCAA. I think it's what's been going on for many years. I don't see how you can fix it. I know how much these college coaches get paid. I know how much these colleges are gaining off these kids. We have to keep building our NBA, G League so kids can have another route to take instead of going overseas all the time. Now, the NCAA has been in the news and the media for the past 5 to 8 years about this specific topic and about it being a dictatorship and how it's important to know the complications and what's next for the NCAA and student athlete. Now, throughout this, the main points I'm going to touch on are how college students are struggling to eat. The NCAA makes big money off these players while the players make little to nothing, and how high schoolers are trying to find other avenues to get to their final destination. From the NCAA to the league used to be the only way that student athletes could progress at their sport or their passion. But now athletes are taking matters into their own hands to manifest their future. Now I know you're probably wondering what makes me such an expert or even have the notion to speak about these such topics. Well, for starters, I have studied basketball, whether it's WNBA, NBA, NCAA, high school, you name it. I've studied it and I've even played it since I started playing when I was in fifth grade and been a student of the game since then. I even wrote a story about this topic a few years back. So those are just credible things for me to be able to present this to you guys. Now, a UConn at the time, a UConn basketball star named Shabazz Napier was interviewed by a reporter. And according to CNN, during this interview, he said that I go to bed at night hungry. Now, mind you, UConn is a Division One school. They make the Final Four almost every year, if not every year. There is no way that these predominantly black athletes are going out here risking their lives, putting on a show for all the fans to see and not getting anything back for it. Doesn't even have a decent meal to eat. Because when you're a student athlete, you have a set schedule. Normally, you wake up, condition, train, eat, condition, classes, whether it's practice or condition, and then there it is. And by the time you're getting out of that, it's already late, so the diner's probably closed. There's no way these athletes shouldn't be getting some type of payment for what they're producing. Also, players should make not as much as the coaches, of course not, but they should be able to make something. And with the NCAA, according to CNN, trying to give them a stipend, saying it's equivalent to what the university brings in and what the coaches brings in. But as a former student athlete, it's not nearly enough because we are the ones going out there, putting on the show, bringing the fans into the school. The academics isn't fulfilling those seats in the stands. The student athletes are. So there's no way college students should be going to bed hungry, let alone not having money in their pocket to do anything that they wanted to do. Also, the NCAA collegiate level of sports is $1 billion corporation. There's it's coaches out there that's making millions and millions of dollars while they're players. Sure, they're sure in to get to the NBA draft, but there's no for sure say, oh, you're going to go first round and make this X amount of dollars. They can't secure that. So Why not pay the people that's pouring money into your company, basically? And also, high school students now have decided I'm not going to end up like the next person that came before me, so we're going to take things into our own hands. According to MassLive.com, the number one recruit in the world, Jalen Green, decided to skip the next level and go to the NBA G League team. Now, what his decision did was open up massive lanes. But even before he made this decision, LeVar Ball did somewhat of he sparked another conversation for when he took his two sons out of UCLA and took them overseas. One of his sons was in high school, the other one was at UCLA. Taking them and then doing that and then bringing them back, he showed a different way that if you're a high school student, you should be able to make money this way or this way when you playing the game that you love. And according to CNN, now the NCAA, as of now, the NCAA is trying to implement a way that the student athletes can make money off their likeness, which means their name or jersey sales or something like that. Whereas if you do what Jalen Green did, you take what he did, fresh out of high school, going to the NBA G League development, he's going to make $500,000 within this 1 year just to develop his game. Doesn't have to worry about classes, doesn't have to worry about any outside distractions other than basketball, which is their main focus. So you take that, and he's a for sure lock in for the first round. And he has a better way to harness and hone in his skills this way versus going to the NC, going to doing 1 year in college, hurting himself. Then says he has a gruesome injury like Ware, who played at Louisville when his whole leg split open. Then you make no money. So you've been doing all this to set yourself up for something bigger when you just fall back. So with the players not being happy with the NCAA continues to operate, the younger athletes decide to switch things up, which is what Jalen Green decided to do along with two other standout superstars. Honestly, the NCAA is kind of late when it's coming to, oh, okay, now we should pay the athlete. Now we should do X, Y, and Z. This has been a constant argument and debate in the media. NBA players like Draymond Green even said it's crazy that you have all these student athletes not getting paid. So with these younger student athletes coming up, looking at, okay, I could do what LeVar Ball did with his sons. I can go overseas, or I could do what Jalen Green did and go to the NBA G League's development league for 1 year, get paid, and that way I can develop my game. Not worry about if I have to take care of my family and responsibilities. From the NCAA to the league used to be the only way. Now athletes are now taking matters into their own hands to manifest their future. In conclusion, athletes have finally started to take their futures into their own hands and finally make pivotal moves that will affect the NCAA for years to come.